Hello guys and welcome back to Learn with me. In our last video we have made a project which was password generator. Basically we have functions, inputs, and we generate a password depending on the user's input of how long they want it. And in today's video we'll talk about a very important topic, which is return versus print. When I talk about return versus print, so first of all let's define a function. Let's say a function getSum that basically takes two inputs, number 1 and number 2, and prints number 1 plus number 2. Now we can just call the function and let's say x equals to 1, y equals to 5. And we're going to call the function getSum with x and y. So it's printing 6. All good till now? Now let's say we want to get the sum and do some kind of calculation, some kind of algorithm with it. It happens when you're calling an API, when you're calling websites. So let's say I got the sum and I want to get the average. So let's say sum divided by 2, because we are giving two elements. And we want to print the average right now. Run? We cannot, because it's not returning anything, it's just printing. So now this whole calculation cannot be done. So that's why we don't print sum, we change it to return num1 plus num2. Now that we have getting a return, we are taking the return, we are putting it in sum, and then we can check out the average. Now if we run it, it will give us 3.0, which is correct. Sometimes you just need to print, sometimes you want to return. Printing is, for example, checking for errors, but most of the times you are doing return. So here let's define a function called name format. Okay. For now we will put pass and you're going to give it two arguments, first name and last name, fname and name. So now we will return using fstring, fname and name. So we can do dot upper, we can do dot lower, we can just do we can take the first letter and make it upper so it looks better. But for now let's keep it this way and we'll say fname equals to, let's say, courses, and name equals to daily. And now we are calling that function name format with fname and name. And we're going to print it because now we're returning it. So as you can see, courses daily. We're getting it. Now let's change the code a little bit, and let's, rather than putting our names hard coded, let's put input first name and last name. So we are taking the input from user. Okay. Now as you can see, we have taken and it is giving us a good return. Now by using this functions and especially return, we can either return the correct names, and now let's say for example we keep the name empty in the last name courses, it will still give us an output even though this is wrong. So by using functions and especially by returning multiple things, we can return multiple things. You don't have to just return one thing. You can do if and else and return something else. So for example, we have a name formatter here. What we can do is we have the first name and the last name. Okay. We can give an if condition here. We can say if first name not equals to empty array and last name not equals to empty array, we will return invalid input, which means that if the input is invalid, alright, we have to change the code fname and name. If first name is empty or second name is empty, or then we return invalid input. Daily, courses, it should work correctly. But if either one of them is empty, that's invalid input. So here we can do return multiple times. We can specify a special case for return if there is an error. Else if there is no error, give us a normal return. So that was it for today's video. There's a small difference between printing and returning. Hope you guys enjoyed and learned something. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next one.